Okay, now we are going to move on to module number 5, selecting sustainable food beverage. This category is really important because we have about a third of human-caused greenhouse gas emissions linked to our food. Agriculture is also one of the top consumers of water and land, and nearly 40% of food in America is wasted. For us, this means that more than 1 in 5 Californians struggle with food insecurity. So in this category, there are 8 action items. The first one is prioritizing organic, fair trade, locally sourced, and low carbon foods and beverages. This is an opportunity for you to ask your caterer to use organic, fair trade, and locally sourced foods as much as possible. Organic agriculture has many benefits, including being better for our health and better for the soil that we all depend on. And it also supports local farmers, minimizing the carbon footprint, and it reduces the distance our food has to travel from the farm to our plate. 4.2 is asking guests to RSVP to reduce food waste. If you're serving food at your event, it is always a good idea to ask folks to register or RSVP ahead of time so that you can get an estimate of how much food you can order so that we don't order too much. 4.3 is having a plan for leftovers. So one of the things that you can do before your event is connect with on-campus resources like the beach pantry and also off-campus organizations to see if they would be willing to take your leftovers. You can also use the Beach Bites app. You can put out a notice to students after the event so you can invite them to take leftovers. And one of the other things you can do is also have containers on hand so you can let your team and attendees take home the leftover foods. Action item 4.4 is serving food buffet style and or with minimal packaging. So instead of having individually wrapped meals like lunch boxes, food with sandwiches, chips, and cookies all wrapped individually in plastic, you can ask your caterer to serve your food buffet style to minimize the amount of packaging that is used during the event. 4.5 is using reusable or compostable tableware. And if your budget allows, you can ask your caterer to provide real plates, flatware, drink cups, and mugs instead of disposable items. And if you do have to use disposable items, try to opt for waxed paper items and wood utensils that can be composted after their use. 4.6 is avoid using plastic bottles or cups. And this is just a reminder that we do have a CSU-wide ban on plastics. So just remind your vendors and partners that they should avoid bringing those on campus so we don't have to dispose of them later on. And if you're serving beverages, we recommend that you do that from a large dispenser or opt for paper cups instead of plastics. 4.7 is choosing a pre-approved caterer that prioritizes sustainable plant-forward menu options and or is owned by an underrepresented group. The university currently has contracts with certain caterers that are pre-approved to service the campus. All of these caterers should be able to provide vegetarian and vegan options, and we encourage you to always include these plant-forward options in your offerings. Plant-based foods have a much lower environmental footprint, and providing these options also make your event more inclusive for those who don't eat animal products. This action item also encourages choosing a caterer that is woman, LGBT, and BIPOC owned to support underrepresented businesses. We have more than 100 free hydration stations throughout campus, so we encourage you to direct event attendees to the nearest one as an alternative to providing bottled water. And some of the toolkit resources that we have highlighted here are for action item 4.3, having a plan for leftovers, and action item 4.4, serving food buffet style. So with 4.4, you can have your caterer also give you condiments in larger packets instead of an individual packet. So again, reduce the individual waste created. And again, highlighting the ability to use on-campus and off-campus resources to share food that's left over after the event. And this concludes Module 5 of the training.